Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash, giving double honor to the apostle Edos Great Millstone, peace and blessings, the best pushing is truth and sincerity, and Kwam Yasharala. Alright, this video gonna really be about holding your speech. You know, it's time to talk, it's time to listen, it's time to express, it's time to hold your peace. That's that Ecclesiastes 3, time and place for everything. Time for this, time for that. But it's very serious to hold your peace. Let the spirit do what the spirit do. When it comes time for you to spirit hop on you, you gonna speak and you gonna be in the spirit. You can tell when spirit owns somebody because the scriptures is flowing with what he's saying, or the way he talking, he damn near quoting scriptures. You know what I mean? 'Cause that's what we really live by. You can tell somebody not in the spirit because now you just hearing his vain opinion. That's all. Somebody just venting, right? And then it leads me to this. The video was about holding your peace, but you holding your peace because you letting everybody know you. You got familiarity. Everybody getting too close to you. They know too much about you. People in the world know too much about you. You known as a babbler or a gossiper. You just talk too much. And really, some things you just keep to yourself. So yeah, this video is about holding your peace, but it's more so about, hey, like I'm gonna bring the scripture out, matter of fact. Matthew chapter 6, verse 3. But when thou doest alms, let not thy left hand know what thy right hand doeth. And this scripture really applying to alms. When you give your alms, you really supposed to be secretive about it. That's another example, though. Whatever you give, you got to give. You give it in you give it in a humble way. You don't got to tell everybody how much you put in the alms or what you did and all of that. 'Cause that's between you and the Lord, right? And then the second part, it said, "Let not thy left hand know what the right hand do." Hey, everybody around you should know every little thing about you. You're gonna cast hella stumbling blocks, one for one. That's like the biggest thing that's gonna happen is you're gonna be a walking stumbling block. Some shit that one brother might give you props for might be a stumbling block to another brother, and ain't no law being broke. You know what I mean? But at the same time, hey, everything is not for everybody, so you don't gotta tell every little. You let's say you went through a certain situation. You fucking helped the old lady put her bags in the trunk and they looked at heavy. One brother might say, "Hey, that shows integrity. That shows you actually applying the scriptures." Another brother might look at you and say, "Man, that lady, a fucking idol worshiper. What the fuck you helping her for? If the spirit on you to help somebody put some groceries in their trunk, hey, that's on you. I'm not gonna. There ain't no law saying don't do it, but you don't gotta turn around and be like, yeah, man, guess what I just did? I did something righteous. Like you don't have to say all of that. If you do something that in your eyes is a good deed, as we would call it, you keep it to yourself. You don't have to let everybody know. And it don't even got to be a good deed. You just don't have to let everybody know what you into, like at all. It's what you into, as long as it's within the law, statutes, and commandments. This is James chapter 1, verse 19. Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, and slow to wrath. This scripture will save you a lot of counsels, rebukes, and unnecessary moments. Don't be so swift to speak. It's a saying in the world, and I'm almost certain it's probably in the scripture somewhere. You got two ears and one mouth for a reason. You should be listening twice as much as you talking. There's no way 10 men is in a room and you've been speaking for 3 hours straight about your vain opinion. I feel this way. I feel that way. Nigga, get out your feelings. You ain't stated a fact yet. That's why you gotta listen. A lot of problems we have will be solved if we just listen. And I'm speaking from experience on that. You feeling like you just gotta get your point across. Sometimes if you just let the other person speak, everything the spirit of habits where it come out. But if all you doing is talking and talking and talking and talking, you're a walking stumbling block. Because you can have an alt with a brother, right? And when y'all having the conversation about the issue y'all having, if you the one talking for 30, 40 minutes, Man, brother, I don't can't remember everything you done just said. And that you've been fucking talking for 40 minutes straight. I've been able to memorize that 40-minute seminar you just gave me about the issue we have. You have to break it down piece by piece, the issues y'all having. Not I'm gonna put everything out on the table. And you gonna sit there, you gonna listen, nigga. Like, no, that's not the spirit to be in. A walking stomach block. Proverbs 17:28. Even a fool, when he holdeth his peace, is counted wise. Why is he counted wise? Because you can't read him. You don't know that. This man might have an IQ of fucking 9. This nigga might be legally, mentally challenged, legally retarded, bro. But if he don't open his mouth, you wouldn't know. You gonna think he a regular person. Or you might be like, "Ah, man, he knows something over there. He's sitting in the corner. Whole time you in your head like, I don't know what's going on. But you look clueless. And back in school, when you were in class, teacher asked a question, you scratching your head, you looking around, you hold on, let me look at my notes and woo, woo, woo. Now you got to answer that question because you didn't put the spotlight on you. Did all this talking, and you didn't made yourself. You just made yourself in the spotlight with all that talking. As to where if you just hold your peace sometimes, just be quiet. You ain't gonna be a walking stumbling block, not with your words, and you gonna get the understanding because if you shut the fuck up, eventually the spirit gonna have it to where what you need is gonna come out. It say, and he that shutteth his lips is esteemed man of understanding. Once again, like I said, if you be quiet, you're more likely to hear. It's kind of hard to hear when you're talking over somebody. This is Ecclesiastes 22:13. Talk not much with a fool, but go not to him but go not to him that have no understanding. What are we talking with fools for? They say iron sharpen iron. If you take a iron sword and you keep hacking wood, the iron sword gonna dull out eventually. You didn't fucking dull it out because you basically are the people you around. Because that's who gonna influence you the most. So we ain't supposed to be just sitting up with no fool. And a foolish person is anybody who don't believe in Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua. That's why scripture say, be not equally yoked with unbelievers. We live in Babylon. You bound to know an unbeliever or two. But to be just linking up with one every day and like he a brother, treating a non-believer like he a brother, you bound to start showing nigga qualities. And again, it starts with that conversation. You letting the nigga think he know you. Now a nigga in the world want to rebuke you and shit because he didn't seen your folly. He didn't, yeah, man, you was late to camp. The spirit probably on this nigga be a fucking fool, and you didn't fucking lower Joe level to this fool who don't know shit. And you know why you lowered your level? Because you've been fucking dealing with him. And it starts off again with that conversation. Watch who you being around. Watch what you saying to who around. Why do unbelievers know that you was late to camp? That don't make no sense to me. It say, beware of him, lest thou have trouble, and thou shalt never be defiled with his fooleries. Depart from him, and thou shalt find rest, and never be disquieted with madness. Yeah, depart from the fool, meaning you get away from his foolishness. It's always an example. That's why your parents is always that one friend and they told you like that he trouble, and if you don't listen, you're gonna get caught in this trouble. That's the fucking fool right there. Every other week, this nigga in and out of jail. Every other week, it's some bullshit going on. You got a different situation going on. You think somebody like that applying the scriptures every other week? It's a new issue. And again, it starts with a conversation, letting him think y'all friends. Second Timothy 2 And 16, it say, but shun profane and vain babblings, for they will increase unto more ungodliness. Like I was speaking on earlier. All that talking don't mean nothing. Listen, because like I say, we supposed to shun profane babbling. Vain babbling, nigga just babbling, talking in vain. Meaning this nigga talking for, like I said, 40 minutes straight. Ain't made one good point. Just a bunch of I feel like and I think. Nigga, again, get out your feelings. We shunning that shit. Meaning we turning away. We not giving you the time. You gonna sit there and listen to a babbler? Are you a fucking fool? That's like a nigga walking up to the count spot and giving us the so who y'all think the GOAT is, LeBron or Michael Jordan. Nigga, that ain't know what we up here to debate about. You fucking fool. Salvation is in front of you and you wanna debate about who the GOAT of basketball. Nigga, both them niggas gonna burn in intercontinental ballistic fire. So who gives a fuck who? They gonna be a sacrificial GOAT. That's what the fuck they gonna be. It say, for they will increase unto more ungodliness. That's how you got the saying in the world. If you lie, you steal. If you steal, you kill. That's that Babylon. That's that Babylon shit. Even though Babylon is not particularly lying, but come on, if you Babylon, you bound to a lie or two, and then sin becomes iniquity because if sin that goes untamed, you start sinning more and more. And next thing you know, the nigga that was a babbler doing a 50-year sentence for murder because he was babbling, he was talking shit, he didn't kill the nigga on accident, he didn't murder somebody on accident, he didn't drinking and he's just doing a bunch of reckless shit, and it shows in his character. All right. But hey, if you got anything from this, I was just going on just keeping certain shit to yourself and staying away from them individuals that bring out that quality in you. You might not even be a talkative person, but somebody could bring that shit out of you, and now they just trying to get information out of you so they can use it against you, and now they didn't brought out the worst in you. So stay away from these niggas and examine yourself on speaking less. All right. Hope this is edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Kakadash. Giving double honor to the apostle, others, a great millstone, peace and blessings for pushing this truth and sincerity and quality of